Alright, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Divinely Inspired. I'm your host, Inspire, here to inspire you guys back to unconditional love through inspired thoughts and conversations. So today is a group. Yes, I am sitting in my car today. Mostly because I want to put the energy back into the car that I need it to be. So, yeah, there's that. So today we're going to talk a little bit more. I know today, like I said, was my healing group, and I asked y'all not to come to the house. But today we're going to talk about making difficult decisions, because we all have difficult decisions that we have to make. And sometimes you don't always have, you can't just go and ask everybody, questions or, how did I do this? I didn't look at my teeth. Okay, sorry, y'all, I had to look at my teeth. I just made some fried broccoli, and the kids actually enjoyed it, so kudos. But I was sitting and I was thinking, my son came and asked me a question. And this question entails a friend who actually said something that was a bit disrespectful, but has since then apologized. However, the same friend is now asking for my son to hang out. Now, as for those of you who are parents, it only takes one time for something to happen, right? And you're just kind of like, yeah, I'm done. Well, this is not just, I don't want this to only be surrounded about kids, because even when it comes to adults, making um, adult decisions, sometimes we don't always have somebody or people that we can bounce stuff off of. Not to say that I don't. I'm just saying there are some things that you just kind of got to figure it out on your own. But this one I'm okay with sharing, because like I was saying, he asked if my son could hang out with them. Now, he said something to my son. It wasn't necessarily that I was even supposed to see it. So let's put that out there first. I wasn't supposed to see it, but I happened to see it because, well, I'm mom, and we find things out. And now this same friend is asking to hang out with my son. So when you are making decisions, how do you guys make decisions? Now, when I'm asking that, what are some things that you weigh? Because for me, I am one of those people that I'll think about my emotional state about the situation. I'll think about everything that happened, all the people, that were involved, if any. I think about just everything in general. So I had a couple of lives that I was supposed to do, which I should have did, because now I don't remember them. But part of growing or changing or evolving means making tough decisions. And sometimes we don't want to make those tough decisions because we don't know what those decisions are going to entail. And that's partly why I want to talk about making these tough decisions. Because like I said, if you know me, you getting to know me, you're knowing who I am as an individual and my character, then you know that change is inevitable. If you run into me, change is inevitable. So I'm here to help you make the best informed decision about whatever it is for you. And sometimes those decisions may not look like the way that we think they should, because I'm going to be honest with you, there are some decisions that I'm making that I just don't understand how this is going to work, but it feels like it's working. So when you are evolving or changing or growing, or things things can get a little hairy, because like I said, it can feel because it's new, hang on, I'm gonna try to put y'all up here, put y'all on my steering wheel, but I don't know if my phone won't stay. My steering wheel was like, no. Alright, because I did bring some cards out, because I was going to actually pull some cards, because today I wanted to also go over making intuitive choices, and we were gonna practice using our cards on our choices. So sometimes we already know, well, in most cases you already know your answer, right? Cards, crystals, anything like that, it's kind of like a confirmation. So, for example, I hope that my friend Candace Lynn, I know. So she turned me on to some like dowsing rods, right? And the cool thing about dowsing rods, thank you for that too, by the way. The cool thing about dowsing rods is that's like a straight like channel connection. And honestly, I'm getting me a pair. I can't get them right now, but I'm gonna get me a pair of those dowsing rods. I used to use sticks, but I want to get some copper ones, like with some of the ones that she got, because I'm already working with like copper jewelry. I thought about making my own, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, when we are using these tools, we don't realize that the answer that we're looking for is already like within ourselves. You guys are going to see me looking away. I am actually pulling cards as I am talking. So this one is like releasing destruction. I'm going to show you these. Isn't it crazy that my nails managed to color this color? Don't look at them too much. Don't look at them too close. But I'm just pulling cards because I want to see what's going on, you know, just in the air. I'm not really pulling on any specific thing. I do know why that release your anger comes out is because, so I got a question for y'all. You have the opportunity to be integral about a situation, right? However, the people or person or whatever that's involved was not very integral, right? So you give this person, for example, you know, chance after chance after chance, right? And then it comes down to it that, you know, it kind of comes back in a way that you kind of get the upper hand in the situation, but you have a choice to um, walk away or help. What do you guys would do? What would you do? If you already gave them chance after chance, you already gave them option after option, and then you still end up with the upper hand, do you still continue to be integral? And like I don't know if the integrity has anything to do with it, because at the end of the day, you know, how do I want to put this? Because I know what this release your anger is. It's like, it's okay to be angry. Like, it's okay to be sour sometimes. Y'all saw my thing with the lemons? Like, no. Like, sometimes I was feeling silly, but sometimes, you know, metaphorically, we do gotta squirt lemons in some people's eyes. Like, it's not that you're just gonna run up to them and just, I mean, I guess I would, but for me, it would be like somebody that, you know, you give multiple chances to, they don't take the chances. And then when you decide the latter is for you, then, you know, you get that lemon in your eye. So for me, when I see that card, it's like, it's time to allow that lemon to settle into some people's, let that lemon settle on and share. You heard? That's funny. I went from 1 to 10. Yeah, 1 to 10. That's like a closing of a cycle. And it's crazy because I am a fire sign, and so when I'm looking at this and I see like all the fire coming from the dragon's mouths, like, oh yeah. It really does feel like it's time for us. Like, honestly, for me, it symbolizes speaking my truth. And maybe some of y'all not doing that. Maybe some of y'all are. Maybe some of y'all scared. Maybe some of y'all not. I don't know what it is, but it's time to like stand up for yourself and be honest with yourself. Be honest with the way you feel about things, because sometimes we look at things in rose-colored glasses and we don't see things for what they really are. I was literally just telling my kids that earlier when he was, you know, when he was telling me about some situations, and I'm like, sometimes you just gotta see things for what they are. Yeah, we know what we want them to be, but that's not what they are. And so, y'all, I look like I'm glowing. Like, I'm not, there's no light out here. I want y'all to know, there's no light. The sun is like behind the clouds and everything, so I don't know why I look like I'm glowing like that, but anyway, like, sometimes we just have to I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, I was looking at these birds outside my window, y'all. But I was saying, like, some of us need to learn to speak our truth because things may not look like what, what we want them to be, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you can do about that. And reality will always ring more true than anything. So, speaking our truth, speaking up for ourselves, and it might send you through a bout of sadness. It might send you, you don't know why you are going through the stuff that you're going through. You just got to know that what you're going through is going to get you to the other side. It's going to get you to where you want to be. If you're listening to me, I'm trying to tell you, you about to go through a serious change because I'm not, y'all, I'm trying to tell you, my life last year to today don't look anything like it did. Okay? This time last year, I was in an eating disorder program. Like, I was struggling. But I'm not no more because I had to make those tough decisions. Like, that place it helped me get to where I am, but no. But at the same, I keep looking at myself. I'm looking at myself in the eyes, and I just can't stop looking at myself. Y'all ever do that? I just got so sidetracked. But I do know why I got sidetracked, because we about to go on another train track. Choo. I hope y'all can keep up with me, because I be jumping tracks like a mother sucker. So y'all ever take a moment and look in the mirror and smile at yourself? If you haven't, I suggest you try it. I'm trying to tell you, like, when you looking in the mirror and you looking at yourself, that is your gateway. So, thank you, Spirit. I'm about to tell y'all how to read people. So when people look at me and they look at me in my eyes and they come back and they don't understand what happened to them, it's because they look me in my eyes, y'all. When you're a healer and somebody look you in your eyes, you are healing them. Especially when you look at them for long periods of time. Like, you're staring at someone in their eyes and you're like soul gazing at them. Yeah, I did that, soul gazing at them. Then you are pretty much like looking into their, their innermost. The way that you understand what other people are going through is looking in the mirror and smiling at yourself. And I know this sounds ridiculous, right? But try it. Look in your own eyes, smile, and just stare at your eyes. And I can almost guarantee you're going to start seeing flashes of your life. Just flashing. Bop, 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 bop. That's you seeing your own, you reading your own soul. So when you're looking at somebody else, and you're looking at them in their eyes, and you start seeing bop, 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 you just soul gaze somebody. A lot of people can't look me in my eyes for long periods of time. There's some people that I cannot look in their eyes for a long period of time. Not because of I can't or I don't want to or whatever. I don't look at people and everybody in their eyes. Number one, if I recognize something in their soul that is a little haunting, I won't look you in your eyes. Or I'll look you in your eyes until Spirit tells me to stop. Because sometimes people can pick up on what is also in my eyes. And sometimes what's in my eyes might not be what they're ready to see. So I don't know if y'all understand what I'm trying to say. But for those of you who know, you know. And when you have that level of awareness where you are able to look at somebody and you can see their life and they can see your life, you tend not to want to overshare through your eyes. Because sometimes your eyes will give more information than you are even speaking out of your mouth. So be careful who you are looking at in their eyes for longer than, I don't usually go for longer than 3 to 5 seconds, only because I'm trying to read. But if I'm staring in someone's eyes and I cannot break a gaze, there's more to it. I see something that maybe they don't even see. And sometimes you may get that same feeling. When you're looking at somebody's eyes, notice the feelings that you feel, in your body. Are you feeling happy, sad? Practice it on people that you love. As you sitting there and y'all talking or something, look at them in their eyes, and I want you to start, like honoring the feelings that are going on in your body, because number one, when you're soul gazing, you are connecting on a soul level with that individual, which means you are creating a cord with that individual. The longer you are staying looking at that person or in that person's presence or anything, you are connecting a cord. You have a cord connected to you, okay, at this point, because you have looked beyond the point of surface level connection. Whereas, like, you can come in contact with somebody, you can say a little prayer, do a little cleanse, you know, you're good. But some people, when you are soul gazing, you can unintentionally create a cord, an energetic cord, which is another reason that I don't look at people in their eyes for very long, unless I feel guided to do so. Because sometimes I'm guided to heal people, and you may be guided to heal someone, and you don't realize that you're, look at my nail broke off. I didn't even notice that. But you are, you might not notice that you are even doing it. And when you walk away, you don't understand what just happened, but all of a sudden you're starting to feel like, I don't know, like your ear might start ringing, or you might catch a sign or something else. You know what I mean? Like, it could be anything for you, but you'll know it because you'll be able to feel it, right? You'll be able to understand. It'll be like, oh, well, this happened and this happened. So is this the same? If you are asking yourself, that's another thing. You're asking yourself, does this mean this? Then more than likely, yes, that's what it means. Absolutely. More than likely, yes, that's what it means. Like, the fact that you're even connecting those two and making the correlation is enough to say that, yes, that's what it is. That's how intuition works. It's the unknowing knowing. it's knowing the unknown. There we go. Knowing the unknown. And a lot of us don't think that we know the unknown, but we do know the unknown. The issue is that we tell other people around us about what we know about the unknown, and then that person looks at you like you're like sideways, like side-eyeing you like you're crazy, but you know you're not crazy, because you know that every time you have like a coincidence or synchronicity or whatever you want to call it, that it seems to be like the truth. That's like the same thing. That's why I keep telling y'all, don't let people tell you what it is. Don't let people tell you what it is, because only you know what it is. Okay? Only you. And to be honest with you, I had somebody tell me what it was, and I said, no, you won't tell me what to do. The devil is a lie. It's like, I don't know. I don't get down like that. And neither should you. Because when you are soul gazing with somebody and you see something, and honestly, what I've done before is I've soul gazed with somebody, and then I went back and I started talking to them. Now, mind you, when I soul gaze, I be oblivious sometimes, okay? I don't be understanding what I'm seeing in the moment. Okay, like I recognize that there is something happening, like, and like the wheels are turning in the background, but I'm not consciously aware of what is happening, like the mental pictures and all that stuff. I'm not aware of that. So when I'm thinking about like soul gazing with somebody, and then it comes back like, oh, I'm having a conversation, and then I'll say something, and they're like, wait, how did you know that? It's like, I honestly didn't know that I knew that. I was just talking and it just comes out. And like, it's nothing that I'm sitting around just pondering about. I don't know that I know some of the things that I know until I talk to the people that I've like soul gazed with. And then when we start talking, they're like, well, how did you know that? How did you know that? I didn't. Like, I looked into your eyes, and as we're talking, it's coming out. Like, I don't know. Or even when I'm reading cards, it's like I can sense energies and all of that, like everything, the whole kit and caboodle. But soul gazing for me is different. Like, there are some people that I meet, and the moment that I look at them, I know I can't soul gaze with them. I know I will not. I will not. I will not. Because I know how it's going to affect me energetically. And it could be I could just see them like come out of the house, and I'm just looking like, oh. And I know, don't look that person in the eye. It's almost like an instant reaction. When you start having those moments, trust those moments. Because some people could be passing stuff over to you in a soul gaze, and you don't even know it. You're thinking like, oh, I'm soul gazing with somebody. Yeah, but you don't always want to soul gaze with everybody, boo. And I don't know about y'all, but I would tell you about this book that I'm reading still. Like I'm done, pretty much done the first book. It's called the Harry Dresden Files. And like he talks about like soul gazing and all of that stuff. And like I do soul gaze myself a lot of the time because I do like to kind of check in on myself, make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So, especially, for me, as far as integrity goes, like, I gotta watch myself. Y'all, I don't know what it is, but there's something above I think I got a mosquito bite right here above my eye. Cause it is itching like a mother. Or maybe that's like what's it called? What's the thing it's called, y'all? Why I look like I got I'm two different colors. Like, no, not like that, but like, it was like right here. This side is like looking like, I don't know, and this side is like super glowy. Hold on, let me put my hands up. Maybe that's like there we go. That's funny. It's like perfectly like half. I'm a geek. Did y'all know that? I'm such a dork. I'm a dork. Who's a dork? But anyway, understanding like soul gazing, my recommendation is soul gaze yourself first. Soul gaze yourself. Number one, it helps you to see how you truly see yourself. It helps you to see how other people see you. So looking at yourself in the mirror, smiling and looking in your eyes and really like looking deeply into your corneas, like your corny your corny like get all the way up close to the mirror if you have to and like smile and look at like the beauty in your eyes and like really see yourself. Take a couple deep breaths. You could even say a little prayer like I'm going to do this soul gaze right now, and upon doing the soul gaze I hope to learn something new about myself that I didn't know before, and I hope to find a different part of myself that could use some tending to, and look in the mirror and just look at yourself and love yourself. Like this last week for me has been very difficult. So I had to soul gaze a lot this week. And that's mostly when I soul gaze is when life gets the most like challenging. I have not been eating. And yes, some of the people who are close to me know that I have not been eating. But I would like to say that I have been eating a lot more. I have been picking up my weight again. And it just took for me to take some time alone and like really like soul gaze myself and understand what was truly bothering me. But I realized that it was stress and anxiety. So now that the stress and anxiety the day is over, I'm back to being myself, which is not okay. So now that's something that I need to, really sit with myself and figure out why when I get anxious like that, it's difficult for me to continue to take care of myself in a way that I need to. So I did a lot of soul gazing this week because I knew that I was not okay with the way I was treating myself. And sometimes I get to places where it's difficult for me to like want to soul gaze in the first place because I do know what I'm gonna see, but I do it anyway. And sometimes it causes, sadness in me because I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what I need to do for myself, and I don't do it. So soul gazing can be very raw at times. So what I suggest is that you go into it with an open mind and an open heart, knowing that it's all love. It's everything we do is love here. That's why I teach, inspired conversations about unconditional love, because just as much as we got to show unconditional love to our fellow humans, we got to show it more or less to ourselves always, because we are like, we wouldn't be able to even show anybody love if we're not here to do so. So being okay with soul gazing, being okay with like, being okay with like seeing who you truly are, because in order for us to make the world a better place, to change the world, to change our reality, to help other people change their reality, we have to be okay seeing ourselves in the truth and the raw truth that it is in who we are. And sometimes it may not look like it's the greatest. Now, mind you, I haven't done like a live in a while. And that is because, like I said, anxiety, stress. And it shouldn't have been, because I was getting like downloads and stuff of things that I needed to be doing. But I have this thing, when I start feeling anxious, I overshare. And so me doing things like this would cause oversharing. And honestly, what constitutes as oversharing though? Because you're just sharing, right? But my brain don't play like that. My brain don't do that. Okay, my brain does not do that. I tend to overshare. And it's things that probably shouldn't be put out there. So I'm very careful when I am feeling the way that I feel, because for me, I need to regroup that energy back, because I'm not going to lie, I had quite a few people pulling on it this last like couple of weeks. And I didn't even notice it until I did a cord cutting the other day and I realized how many cords was attached to me. So that's another thing, is if you don't do no cord rituals, do some cord cutting rituals, especially during these moon times and stuff. Do some rituals. And I just want to say thank you to all those who have been sticking with me from the beginning, because y'all know what it was in the beginning. But those of you who saw my videos that I had before I took them down when my channel first started, even when I was here in Unnormalized Minds before it became what it is now, y'all know what it is. And we all came a mighty long way. And I'm very happy to have y'all a part of my, nation of peoples. Like, y'all know what it is. I do my best, as you should do. I'm trying to think. There was something somebody asked me to go over. There was something somebody asked me to go over. I can't think of what it is right now. But I do want to. Oh. Connecting to your ancestors and your guides and your angels. First of all, let's talk a little bit about, because this live is going to be like one long one, because it's supposed to go to what? I don't know, even know what time it is. But we're going to talk a bit about our angels and our guides and how to connect. Part of what I was just talking about, the soul gazing, can tie into connecting to our angels and our ancestors and, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sorry. There's like yada, yada, yada. Our angels, ancestors, our spirit guides, and yes, I'm sorry. It was like yada, yada, yada. Sorry, guys. It wasn't meant to be like that, but that's how they took it, so I do apologize. But to connect, while you're doing your soul gazing, well, I can't tell you what to do. Here's how I do it. This is how I do it. This is how I do it. This is how I do it. When I am going into a soul gaze with myself, I ask for protection from my spirit guides. And in some cases, I'll even ask them to show themselves to me. Like if I'm trying to soul gaze into myself and I'm trying to like do something that is like for myself, trying to like self-improvement, that's different. But there are times where I'll ask my ancestors or my guides, like, who is with me right now? Like, I want you to show up in the soul gaze. So, because they're a part of your essence, like your soul's essence, they're a part of it because they're helping you co-create. So they're whoever is stepping forward to help you through this phase of your life, they're a part of your essence. Okay. I told you, like, I know I told y'all not to come to my house. So like, no. But when you are beginning your meditation or your soul gaze, right? I highly recommend that if you are interested in meeting your spirit guides, then I highly recommend that you ask who they are and channel just that one specific thing. So say for example, you are going through a situation, with your home per se. Now, you may not, it depends. Everybody's story is different. I'm just telling you as a general thing. So say something's going on with your house. You got leaky faucets, you got mold. I don't know. You got a bunch of different little things, whatever. Your kids, farting around too much. I don't know, you know. So when you're soul gazing, you can say, hey, spirits, angels, ancestors, guides, or you can just, if you're looking for a specific like angel that is looking over, or a specific ancestor, you say, hey ancestors, I'm reaching out to you. Say a little prayer. I'm reaching out to you. I ask that you bless this meditation. I ask that as I soul gaze that you reveal yourself unto me so that I can understand who you are, and I can give you the proper offerings. I can give you the honoring that you deserve, and gain a deeper connection with you. It's whatever you decide to say in that moment to your ancestors, and it'll come to you. It doesn't have to be like written out or anything. It's whatever comes from the heart, because that's what they read. They read, what comes from within. So you don't got to put too much thought into it. Hold on, y'all. No joke, y'all. A freaking mosquito bit me on my freaking eyelid. How in the world that happened, I have no idea. I just got bit. I didn't just get bit, but I got bit by a mosquito right here. And it hurt too. Ooh, yeah. Anyway, when you are soul gazing and after you say your prayer and you talking to them, take a moment to just enjoy their presence. Understand, excuse me, how that presence makes you feel. Okay? Understand what that presence means for you. Understand how it's affecting you mentally, emotionally, physically. Are there physical sensations? Sometimes they may even come and move something in your home. Like I've had I've had my grandmother's spirit, turning on what's those little music boxes. She came and would turn it on. Like no one's ever touched this thing for a while. I found it on the side of the road in like a rummage thing, and I thought it was cute. And I never had like a music box or anything, so I was like, I'm gonna get it. And it was a little Christmas one, and that's sitting up on my mantle. And my mantle is my altar as well, so I have like crystals and other things. Look at the neighbor's cake. It's just get down. What did you? But it's a part of my mantle, like my altar. So one day I was sitting on the edge of my bed, and my son was in the laundry room, which if you've ever been to my house and been downstairs, you know how it's set up. But you have to go down this hallway. You have to basically walk through. I have 2 living rooms, the downstairs living room, to get to the laundry room. And I'm sitting on the edge of my bed because right now it's not in the room, and my altar's out there. And I'm just sitting there. It's quiet. He's back there doing what he's doing. And next thing I know, I hear the music box just start playing. And so I start laughing because I was like, all right, I see you. And my son, who is a little more logical, he's not very much he don't, ghosts, he don't believe in ghosts. He don't believe, which is crazy coming from, smart of me. But everybody's an individual and they can believe what they want to believe. So he's like looking like with his eyes, he's like, and I was like, what? And like, I'm giggling at it because I know it's my grandma, my family, and they just be geeking sometimes with me. And he was like, you didn't get up and touch that. And I was like, I know I didn't. And he was like, why? It just played music. He was like, ain't nobody touched that for like 3 months. I was like, I know. I was like, why are you surprised? Like, you are still surprised that stuff like this happens around me? And he's like, Mom, oh my goodness, Mom, for real? You're not even a little. I said, no, I'm just glad that she was here to witness it, so that I don't be thinking that I'm crazy all the time. Cause sometimes I be like, did I do that? Did I do that? But I didn't. Like, so for him to see it, it was kind of like a confirmation for me and a confirmation for him. Like, my mom is not crazy. Like, excuse me, all that stuff happens to me all the time. Like, I be standing talking to somebody and like nobody be near nothing, and stuff just be flying off the shelves, and I'm just like, I try to tell you, when you're around me, they're gonna show who they are. They're gonna show their ass. Okay, they're gonna show their ass. Okay, so when you ask them to reveal themselves, be ready for how they show themselves to you, because mine is starting to become tangible. My joints be tangible. joints be like, stuff be flying all over the place, stuff be turning on, like electronics in me. For those of you who know, y'all know, electronics don't work around me. They do not. So you don't let, yeah, that's all I'm saying. My electronic, anything electrical, it's like I just have the worst. I need to get some air. But if I open this door, these mosquitoes going to swarm me. But I'm about to go sit on a hammock. How about those apples, right? Too bad I ain't got that much signal in my yard. Because I take y'all with me. But yeah, when it comes to like figuring out your spirits, angels, and ancestors, like also my board, my angels and guides divination board. For those of you who I come in contact with, if you ask me about it, I'll give you one, but I'll be forgetting, so you have to ask me when you see me, okay? Cause Mama be on her, I'm on that. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I don't be thinking about nothing else really. So ask me for a board, I give you one. But if you look in the book when you get it, there is a space in the back of the book where you can write out your angels, your ancestors, your guides, and your spirit animals. Excuse me again. I was up late, y'all. Let me tell y'all, these nails. Me and my daughter was up late doing our nails last night. I mean, like late. So I'll be on it because I'm tired. But at the same time, like I was saying, in the back of the thing, it has a place where you can put your angels, like any angels that surround you, what they mean to you, how I do my things is whenever I am learning about my angels and stuff, I write what it means to me first, and then I'll write what the, I guess, overall definition or meaning of things are, and then I have what they were helping me with in the moment. So, for example, if I, like I said earlier, if I need help in my house, then I'll say like, okay, Angel Sandalfon, I can't ever say their name right, helps me with home matters. So whenever a home matter comes up, I call Angel Sandalfon in to help me resolve those matters. You know what I mean? So it kind of works like that. And when the reason that I do my definition first is because it's not tainted by the definition of the outside world. So whenever you are creating your own pathway to divination, one thing that you want to do is the one thing that you want to stand clear of, that I stand clear of, I can't tell you what to do, you can do whatever you want to do, that I stand clear of, is taking whatever it means to me first. Before I go and research anything online, I will meditate on what it means for me and how they come through for me, and I will write out whatever I need to, or whatever it is that you do, and then I will go and research like online. Then I will research online like the overall definition of what other people experience of this particular ancestor or angel or whatever, because ancestors can be from your lineage, and sometimes some people in your family may also connect, so you can kind of get a feel for what they do for you in your life versus what they do for somebody else, because you don't show up in everybody's life the same way. So you got to remember that with your ancestors. So what works for one person may not work for you. So making sure that you are aware of what things mean for you, okay? Not necessarily what they mean overall, because some people will go and say, oh, this archangel, like Archangel Gabriel came to me, and so I went and looked them straight up. Like, do your best to not do that. Do your best to connect with that angel and figure out what that angel is connecting with you on, and then go look it up, because you don't want to taint your belief system with the beliefs of everybody else. So I don't know if this is going to make sense to y'all, but whenever I'm studying something, even though there's tons of information on the internet about it, everything is always all the information on the internet is somebody's opinion that was turned into research that was turned into a fact. okay? And then that fact was derived from someone's opinion that went and just started to study it a whole bunch and then take other people's opinions to conform to their opinions, which then people researched that opinion and it became a fact, okay? So remember that yours is just as much of a fact as anybody else's. So sitting with yourself, understanding, what it means for you or to you versus going straight and looking it up, it gives you more depth and connection to the angel or the ancestor or the guide that you are calling on or understanding at the time. But you begin to taint it when you start to Google things or you start to research in books and all of that, because sometimes the easiest way or the best way to get the information that works for you, that is going to take you to your higher heights. And I'm not telling you what to do. I will never tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what I do and how I do things. And this is how I come to my conclusions. It may take a little bit longer than most people because they go straight to the internet and they do all these things and then they can't understand how things is working out for them, about how they working out for me, but not, it's taking forever for them and all this. It's because I'm not trying to streamline a connection through what somebody else's opinion is. I am streamlining a connection directly from myself to source. That's what I want to help you guys do. I want to help you streamline a connection straight from yourself to source. Okay, I want you to understand what that connection means for you and whatever is on the ether side of your on your spirit team, and I want you to be able to understand how to communicate with them in those times when it gets too difficult for you to do it when you are not. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Thank you, Spirit, because for me personally, I've seen too many times where people won't believe what their eyes are telling them because the internet said this or the internet said that or the internet said this. And it's like, but you do realize that is just a formulated opinion of somebody else, right? What does it mean to you? Because what it means to them might not mean the same thing for you. So be aware, be careful when you are looking things up, when you are researching, because make sure that you are not adopting someone else's beliefs, someone else's thoughts, someone else's actions, someone else's things, because you would just rather streamline it and say, oh, well, this is what it's supposed to mean. So, like, if I hear my ears ring, right? If my ear rings, I don't go online and look up what the earring means. You know what I do? I say, thank you for whatever I'm about to receive. And then I wait. And then when something miraculous happens, number one, I note the time. I note how long it took for it to happen. Number two, I note how did I connect that the earring was connected to this situation. More than likely, it's been because of a synchronicity. I'll be like in the mid talking to somebody or doing something, and then bam, something will happen, and I'm like, my ears start ringing. I'm like, okay. And then like usually like 15, 20 minutes later, something will happen full circle, and I'm like, oh, that's why my ear was ringing. It was preparing me for this moment, or oh, that's why it was, because I knew that it wasn't gonna go the way that I wanted it. So it was warning me, or oh, I know I needed to talk to this person because I was just at the right place at the right time, and Spirit was giving me what I need to say. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you to correlate that. But that's what I'm trying to tell y'all is when you're correlating, make sure you're not correlating it based off of someone else's researched opinions and views. What I am telling you is based off of my research opinions and views. So you feel more confident going online and you have these trusted sources then that's fine. Do you. I'm not telling you not to do you. I'm just stating that as when you are learning about your spirit guides, about the angels that are protecting you, about, the spirit animals that are around you right now, all of those, that is something that is personalized. That is something that is made for you, because each of us are in different parts of our journey. So it's not going to be the same. So what a black wolf means to one person may not mean the same to you. So be aware of that when you are researching things. Always figure out what it is for you first before you go and start finding like, oh, this is the meaning of this. This is what this, because that's like generalizing that this one thing means this one thing when that's not always the case. What does it mean for you? Because when it shows up again, what does it, like, you're reading it differently. Everybody's going to read like tarot. Everybody's going to read oracle. Everybody's going to read everything differently. So to know what it means to you, you may not be able to share the message that needs to be shared, because when you are relating a black bear to, let's just say, food, for example, whereas somebody else might say, oh, that black bear doesn't necessarily mean food, it means grass. You see how that meaning is different for each person? Like when you are creating your own thing with your spirit guides, they're going to speak to you in a way that you understand. So their spirit guides help them understand that grass is, when they see black bear, they need to go get in the grass. But when you see a black bear, you need to make sure that you're eating food. That's two different things. So when you're reading for yourself or for someone else and they show you a black bear, you're not going to say, oh, it means that you need to go get in the grass, because that's not the connection you made with black bears. This is just an example, guys, by the way. But I'm hoping that y'all understanding what I'm saying. So when you are going online and you're like, oh, the white wolf means freedom. But is that what the white wolf means for you? Because the white wolf might mean that your judgment is coming or judgment is near, and they're trying to warn you and you're not catching it because you're too busy trying to go off of what somebody else's spirit guides and everything else they saying. When you come here, I'm going to teach you how to do things for yourself. I'm going to teach you what it means to truly think for yourself. I'm going to show you what it means to stop going online and like literally just basing your whole entire life off of the online, whatever the online people say. Because that's not how this works. In the real world, if you want to be in your wholeness, you want to be in your richness, you want to be in your queendom, your kingdom, whatever, you got to do shit for yourself. And you got to figure out what it means for you, because you will let other people tell you what it is and what it's not. So, with that being said, thank you, Spirit, for that message, because I remember y'all telling me that had to come out. I remember that, because it was like they getting sick and tired of people like reading books and like, oh, this is, and it's not to say like, oh, you're not supposed to read books. Let me take that. Let me make this clear. I'm not telling you not to read books. I'm not telling you not to study. I'm telling you to figure out what it means for you before you go and do all of that stuff. Understand what the meaning is for you, which is why I say you have the meaning in my book is your meaning, what it means to you first. Then it is the meaning that is off of social media or wherever you get your meaning from. Okay? That's how it works. You get your own out of it, and then you can start seeing what everybody else is, you know what I mean? So, with that being said, y'all be blessed, okay? Don't let nobody tell you what to do. Don't let nobody tell you what to do. That's a no, okay? That's a no. Get out here and be great. Show the world who you are. Don't be scared. Ain't nobody gonna tell you nothing that you don't know yourself, as long as you are working on yourself. Can't nobody tell you what it is. Don't let nobody tell you what it is. Ew. My kids always crack up when I say that. They're like, ew. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me that. Ew. And don't let nobody tell you nothing that you don't. Now, that's not to say to take into like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but you know you. You know you. Okay? Remember that. We all out here trying to do our best. Okay? That's all we can do. People ain't always understand you. It ain't for them to understand. It ain't for nobody to understand but you. Not your spouse, not your friend, not your family. It ain't for nobody to understand but you. And as long as you good with you, everybody else can suck a egg. Send them my way. I'll tell them to suck a egg any day. Oh, my phone about to die. That's the end of my live. Y'all, I always have so much fun doing these. Y'all make these so much fun, because when I get to talk to y'all in IRL, the convos be litty. Okay? The convos be litty. And in all honesty, we got to figure out how we can transfer the convos from us in IRL into here, because I'm trying to tell you, these conversations be getting for reals. Okay? Don't forget to stay hydrated. Like I said, don't let nobody tell you what to do. Get out here, be great, inspire the world, and show unconditional love. Be integral. Okay? Be honest. That's all you can do. Love yourself, because ain't nobody else going to do it for you. And you shouldn't want nobody else to do it for you. Ugh. Ugh. Get out here and be great, y'all. So, signing off. Deuces.